Hi, everybody. Welcome to After the Checker Flag here on Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com. Ralph Sheheen and Jeff Emig with you on what turned out to be a crazy week in Anaheim, California, with the sudden and shocking announcement about fan favorite Kevin Windham announcing his retirement, calling it a career and hanging up the helmet, Jeff. I mean, he's been talking to us about this really for the last 2 years, knowing he was in the twilight of his career, but he was shooting to go through 2014. It would have been the 20th year of his career. He would have broken the career starts record set by his now team manager, Michael Rocco, and he would have ended in the year that matches his number plate. Then all of a sudden, here we are just 3 races in, 2013, he's out.
Yeah, and it's interesting that we're at round 3, and and this happens typically. You make a commitment yourself, your team, everybody for the whole season. Kevin showed up to round 1, and I heard rumblings from different riders, some of his language, questions, what do you guys think? And Kevin actually showed up to round 3 at Anaheim, rode the first non-timed qualifying practice, and from what I understand, comes in, calls the people from Feld, everyone from Geico Honda Factory Connection into the rig, wife, everybody was there, and says, you know what, I'm done. I respect him for that, because when it's your time, it's your time. And you could tell he was having a hard time with it. And in some conversations earlier today, he told us maybe the most difficult part was when he called his dad and said, hey, you know what? I'm done. Right now, I'm ending it. And when I heard the news, I went over to the rig and I said, are you retiring? He says, it's over. And I just gave him a big hug. I said, congratulations. It's sad for the fans, but as a rider, when I see him to be able to step away from the sport, healthy, beautiful family, everything, the rest of his life ahead of him, I'm so proud of him for what he has accomplished, not only on the track, but who he is as a man, a friend. I mean, everybody loves Kevin Windham. So it was a really, maybe a little bit of mixed emotions here tonight. But overall, just an outstanding career in Monster Energy Supercross.
Yeah, and stay tuned on this, fans, because it sounds like we haven't seen the last of Kevin. Well, from what I've been told and from what I'm understanding, they're looking at putting a plan together to get Kevin back out to the track, at least for most of the remaining races of this season, so that Kevin can properly say goodbye to all those fans around the country who have supported him throughout his career. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty exciting. But this all came together so fast today, they really hadn't had time to plan all this.
Yeah, and what's interesting, Kevin comes out during opening ceremonies and does his transfers. He picks lines and jumps from jumps to jump, and does these really amazing jumps. And he was doing that all the while knowing that he was going to have to race that night. So I'm wondering, with his transfers, he could take this to a whole nother level, be, the Supercross daredevil now that he doesn't have to worry about the main event coming up that night. But I tell you what, now, I think everybody was in shock here tonight at Angel Stadium. Once we head towards Texas and those areas closer to Mississippi, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where Kevin hails from, there's going to be a lot of family and friends, a lot of raging Cajuns that are going to come out and just go absolutely berserk for Kevin during opening ceremony. So you don't want to miss that.
Well, and then we had Ryan Villapoto get his first win in Anaheim. So now, Jeff, he's on a bit of a roll. He's been chipping away at it. As we head to Oakland, is Villapoto maybe 2 for 2?
He definitely seems to have everything lined up. He was absolutely dominant today. Villapoto dominated qualifying practice. Heat race, his main event. He comes from behind, passes everybody, and wins. And then after the race was over, we're sitting here looking at our lap charts, and I'm like, did you notice the gap between first and second? It was only 6.8 seconds at the end. Trey Kennard was only 6 seconds off of the win. And I said, oh, that was just amazing for Trey Kennard, amazing rider tonight. And then I noticed Chad Reed, who was third.
Yeah.
He was only 10 seconds off. So even though Villapoto dominated, and I felt that he rode hard all the way to the checkered flag, Kennard and Reed were there. And if Millsaps hadn't have had his fall, he possibly would have been on the podium, and that you could have had 4 riders what's inside of 10 seconds. So even though Villapoto won, there's a lot of other riders that made big leaps in their season here tonight.
Shaping up to be a great championship battle here in 2013. For Jeff Emig, I'm Ralph Sheheen. We're off to Oakland. That's the next stop, the only visit to Northern California. Remember, you'll see that race on CBS Sports next Sunday. And, of course, the 250 race will air, as it always does, on Speed. We'll see you there. So long, everybody.